In today's video, I'll be showing you how you can start Amazon FBA as a total beginner. So welcome back to the channel. Firstly, thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can start Amazon FBA if you are a total beginner, if you've never done it before, and even if you don't know what it is. So before we jump into the detail, what actually is Amazon FBA? Hopefully everyone will already know if you are watching this video, but if not, I'll just briefly explain it. So Amazon FBA is Amazon fulfillment by Amazon. They'll store them, they'll advertise them, they'll sell them, and then they'll dispatch them to your customer, and they'll deal with all the customer service. It is quite an amazing business model because it is so hands-off. You haven't got to deal with any of the back-end logistics. You don't have to deal with sending the products out. Your only job is finding the product and just sending it into Amazon's warehouse. They do take care of the rest. Now, as I say, we don't want to talk about too much about the details about Amazon FBA already, because this is more just about how to actually get started. But if you were interested in learning more about Amazon FBA as a concept, make sure to check out our video, which I'll just link up here, where we talk about it in more detail. Now, before we do start, I just wanted to touch on Amazon FBA as a business model and how you should approach it. Now, it's really important not to look at Amazon FBA as a get-rich-quick scheme or as a way to make a quick buck, because that is just not it. You can earn quite incredible money on Amazon. However, it is hard. You do need to put in a lot of work, a lot of hours, and a lot of commitment to get to that stage. A lot of people who do start Profitl do think they're going to be earning millions within the first month, and sadly that just isn't the case. Most users won't become profitable for a good few months just because it takes time to learn the processes, it takes time to get set up. You're going to make mistakes along the way, so it really is important just to think of it as a long-term business. If you're going to have that outlook from the very start, it puts you in a really good position. What are going to be some of the things you need if you want to get started with Amazon FBA? So there are a few things which you must do or must have in order to start selling using Amazon FBA, so let's go through them. So firstly, you will either need to be registered as a sole trader, or you will need to have a limited company. When setting up your Amazon seller account, you'll have two options. So you can either set up as an individual or as a professional account. You must set up as a professional account in order to win the buy box, but the only way to have a professional account is to have a registered business as such. So this is either a limited company or as a sole trader. Now, we always recommend to go down the sole trader route as opposed to a limited company, just because it's really easy to do. All you need in order to be registered as a sole trader is to have a UTR number, a unique taxpayer reference number. Now, this is of course if you are in the UK. If you are in the US, it is a very similar process as well, but Amazon does require you to enter your personal details in order to get set up. So unless you have this, you won't be able to set up your Amazon seller account. So the next thing you'll need is you will need software. So depending on your budget, there are a few types of softwares you can use. So the one thing that you will have to use no matter your budget is you will need a deal analyzer. Without a deal analyzer, it's really hard to analyze your FBA deals. There is so much more to Amazon FBA deals as opposed it's cheap on the source website and it's selling for more on Amazon. There is a lot more to it than that. You have to check the price graphs, hazmat risk, whether it's an intellectual property risk, your competition, and without a deal analyzer, you can't check any of this. Now, later on in this video, we'll be showing you all about Profitl and how you can use that to analyze your FBA deals, and we'll run you through the things you need to be looking for when analyzing your deals to sell using Amazon FBA. The other type of software which you might want to use is a deal finding service. This is basically a service which will give you deals or give you potential deals just to help you out and save you time. Now, this is obviously optional because you can just go out and about trying to find your own deals, but the thing is, when you are new, it can be quite difficult. Where do you look? What do you look for? Now, here at Profitl, we do have our DealFinder, where we basically scrape the internet and put all potential deals in one central portal. For our users who don't want to use that, they just want to use our Profitl Chrome extension and our mobile app, we do also do a free feature called Deal of a Day. This is where we send in 1 to 2 deals Monday to Friday to all of our customers for free, and the idea is to give them inspiration on the types of deals out there, the types of deals to go for, and so on. The first thing you must have is a printer. Without a printer, you can't print out your UPS labels to send your products into Amazon. You can't print out your barcode labels to put on the product, so you must have a printer. Obviously, many people already have a printer. If you do, a standard printer is just fine. You will need to get obviously paper, and you'll also want label paper as well, but you must have a printer in order to do Amazon FBA. You're also gonna need things like boxes. You're gonna need things like poly bags. You're gonna need different types of stickers for potential potential issues for the Amazon staff. And without this equipment, you're going to struggle to send your products into Amazon's warehouse. Now, again, we won't get into too much detail about all the things you do need today, but if you were interested in how packaging actually works, we do have another video where we do go into it, which I'll just link up here. Now, the next thing we do recommend is becoming part of a community. Now, this is so important just because Amazon FBA is hard, it is difficult, there is lots to learn. And being part of a community can not only motivate you, it means you'll be able to talk to people who are going through similar things to you, people who have already experienced the issues you're going to face, and it will just make your life so much easier. Here at Profitl, we do have an amazing community. So we have a Discord community. I believe there's over 3,500 members in it now, full of like-minded people, and it really is the amazing place to learn. And I know I've spoken a lot about Profitl here. That's obviously it is our channel and that's what we do, but we think it's such an amazing product. And for anyone here who's not a member yet, if you were interested, we do have an exclusive discount, which I will just link right up here. So if you were interested in joining, make sure to take them down and you can get set up and selling when you are ready. Okay, so that's enough about the equipment. Now let's get into the more interesting bit about the types of Amazon FBA you can actually do. There are 4 main methods which we consider for Amazon FBA. So you've got retail arbitrage, you've got online arbitrage, you've got wholesale, and you've got private labels. So what are both of them? Well, retail and online arbitrage are more or less the same thing. This is where you're buying products from retailers, that's why it's retail arbitrage, and sending them into Amazon's warehouse. The only difference is that on retail arbitrage, you're going into store to buy the products. On online arbitrage, you're actually doing it online. These can actually be from the same shops, either in store or online, but that's just a slight difference between retail and online arbitrage. Now the next one is wholesale. This is where you're buying from an actual wholesaler, so not a retailer, this is a proper wholesaler. And for this method, you're obviously going to need more money. You're often buying limits, so you have to buy a certain amount of products. You might have to have a limited company, or you might even need to be VAT registered for a wholesaler to speak to you. And the final one is private label, and it's basically where you design your own brand and you get it printed on pre-existing products. So most people would buy products from Alibaba in China. They might buy a pre-made candle, for example, and they'd stick their brand on it, and they'd have to create their own listing and basically generate all their own interest and their own sales. Again, as you can imagine, that is a very expensive method. So what is the best method to use if you're wanting to get started? It is, of course, arbitrage. It's because it's got such low cost of entry. As you're buying from a retailer, you don't have to have a limited company, you don't have to be VAT registered, buy really small quantities if you're just trying to test the waters, and we do call it the stepping stone into Amazon FBA. Now, wholesale and private label are both amazing models, but we sort of see them as phase 2 in most people's FBA journeys. So obviously with wholesale, you might have to spend thousands on products, and then with retail arbitrage, exactly the same. You're gonna have to spend a lot of money on products. It's a lot more work. So today we're gonna be showing you how you can start with the online arbitrage method. So we're actually gonna be showing you a product which we found, how do we analyze it, and if we were to buy these, what would be the steps. So let's jump right into this product. So here we are on the website Natina, where we found this Sensodyne expanding floss. We can buy this for £2.24 at the moment. There's currently code summer, which gives us 20%. Now it is currently selling on Amazon for £6.32. So you can see we're buying it for £2.24. It's currently selling for £6.32 on Amazon. Now, like I mentioned earlier, just because it is cheap on Notino and it's selling more on Amazon, that doesn't necessarily mean it is a good deal. So how would we actually analyze this deal? So we're going to load up the Profitl Chrome extension right now and have a look at the things we'd be looking for if we was actually going to be selling this. So I've just put the ASIN in here and I've put the price, and I've now clicked calculate, and now we've got all the data we need to start analyzing this FBA deal. So firstly up here, we've obviously got the Amazon and the eBay prices. We have the eBay data. Just some people are interested in also selling on eBay, so it's interesting to know how the prices vary on the different platforms. You can actually turn this off in your Profitl settings if you're not interested in this. It does make the extension a bit quicker. So the first thing we're quickly looking for is obviously profitability and its sales. So firstly, with its sales, we can see it's selling between 30 to 90 units a month. So absolutely no issues with sales. It's a nice consistent seller. And profit is 87 pence, but the even more important metric is the return on investment. And this is so important just because it gives a really quick glance about whether it's worth going for. So obviously this is only 87p profit per unit, which may not sound like much, but when we're only buying it for £2.24, that is a really amazing profit margin. Now obviously if we were spending £20 and only getting 87p profit, it wouldn't be worth going for because the ROI wouldn't be so good. So typically we try and get above 30%. 30% is our sort of our baseline, just because prices can change. You know, prices do go up and down, and you do need a bit of leeway just in case that does happen, but 39%, that is absolutely perfect for us. The next thing we're going to be looking at is the product reviews. This isn't massively important, but it's just another complement to consider. Just if it's got low reviews, then your returns might be higher, people having problems with the item, and obviously when you're new to Amazon FBA, you want to minimize your problems as much as possible. Returns and refunds is all going to cost you money. You can buy a product which doesn't get returned much or there's not many issues. That is only a good thing. So this one's got 44 reviews, 4.5 star rated, which is absolutely great. Now, the next thing we are going to be checking is the number of sellers on the listing. So we can see there's only 4 FBA sellers, 3 FBM. So that is absolutely perfect. Ideally, we want between 1 to 5. That means not too much competition. 5 to 10 you can go for if it's a good buy. Obviously you've got really good profit. Over 10 we would say be very careful about, but for FBA sellers, Amazon does favor FBA sellers, so these are the ones who get the buy box. Obviously there's a bit more to it than just there being 4 FBA sellers. We also want to see how much these sellers actually have in stock, so we're going to click on the Profitl extension here, view stock data, and that will load the total stock. So we can see that out of all the FBA sellers, they have 20 stock in total. Now you'll see them all listed here. So here's the 3 FBM sellers, here's the 4 FBA. So these are only the ones we're that interested in, being honest. The first one has 4 in stock, the second one has 10, the third one is currently sold out, and the fourth one has 6 in stock, so not much stock at all, which is great. You'll often come on here and you might see sellers with over 1,000 in stock. Obviously, if that is the case, the chances are they're going to be buying it for a lot cheaper than you can buy it for, and they've also got a lot more to lose, so they're going to drop their price down a bit more. So we can see with the competition, nothing to worry about here, not too much competition at the moment. Now obviously there is a good chance that more sellers are going to come on this listing. You can only take it at the time of looking at it. Obviously, if there's less sellers on the listing, when you analyze it, that means the chances are you'll have less competition in the future. Now the next thing we want to look at is the warning section. So there's a couple warnings which we'll check for. Firstly is the IP risk. That means intellectual property risk, and that basically means just because you can sell a brand doesn't mean that brand actually wants you selling it. If you are buying it from a retailer, they might be like, well, where have you got that product from? Is it counterfeit? And so on. So if you do see this, you just need to be very careful. You don't want to be getting an IP violation on your account, but no IP issues on here. The next one is hazmat. Haven't got to worry about this quite as much. It basically means it might be a potential dangerous good. Could be chemicals, nail varnish, something like that. You can sell these products. You just have to be registered for the dangerous goods program, but nothing to worry about on this one. And then finally is the oversized section. Obviously this isn't going to be oversized, but you haven't got to worry about that too much. Just means your fees are going to be higher, but yeah, no issues with oversized items just here. And then finally, the most important part of the data is these price graphs, which are just here. So with Profitl, you get access to free price graph, 90-day, 180-day, and a 365-day price graph. So if I click these just here. So there are a couple of things we look for in this price graph. Firstly is this green line, which is the sales rank line. We can sort of use this just to confirm it is definitely selling. So the way to look at this is to look at the drops in the line. So drops typically indicate sales. Now that is not an exact science because there's many things which can affect this sales rank line, but that's one way to look at it. So when you see it going up and down, we can see it's definitely selling, so no issues there. The next thing we look for is this pink buy box line, and we use this just to minimize our risk of getting undercut. And when looking at this, I always try and take a bit of an average of the price over the last year. So we can see it spent times about where it is now, £6.32. It has been cheaper at times, so it's been about £4.50 once. As an average, it's probably been about £6, so it's been a reasonably stable price. And then the third thing we look for is whether Amazon had previously been on this listing. So by the looks of it, they spent a very, very brief time on this listing just here, which wouldn't be enough to put me off, being totally honest. But Amazon might not currently be on the listing, but you might check this price graph and you might see they've spent the whole year on this listing and they've never shared the buy box. But what we can see is that this time Amazon were on this listing, we didn't even have the buy box. So nothing to worry about here at all. We could be pretty confident we could send this and we could get around the price we were hoping to get. But if you were interested in learning more about how to read a price graph, I have also done a video about this, which I will just link up here, so make sure to check that out. That's a very quick way of how you can analyze your FBA deals. So let me know in the comments whether you think it'd be worth going for based on the data. And again, I'm going to link another video as well because we've done so much content, but we've also done a video about analyzing FBA deals, the 5 steps you need to take. which does break it down in even more detail than I'm going into today, which I'll just link up here, so make sure to check that out. But obviously we've analysed this deal now, we also need to check we can actually sell it. Probably in hindsight you've checked this before, but just for the purpose of the video I just wanted to show you the steps to analyse your FBA deals first. But to check if you're gated or not, it's really easy to do. All you basically do is go into your Amazon seller account, head to your inventory, you click add a product, you put the ASIN in here, you'd search it, and then over here it's either going to sell this product or apply to sales. It's not gated for us, we can sell this product, which is absolutely great. So once you've analysed your deal and you're happy with it, you've worked out you can sell it, there's no issues with it, all the data looks good, you obviously now need to buy it and you now need to send it into Amazon's warehouse. So I won't get into all the detail of sending products into Amazon's warehouse, just because I have done another video of it before, which I'll link up here. But the main basics are you basically order the products to your house, you'll then have to label them up, so you have to put barcodes on each of the products. You can use the manufacturer barcode sometimes. We always recommend to use Amazon's barcodes just because they do something called commingling, which you want to avoid. But once you've labeled these up and you've arranged a shipment on Amazon, you basically either drop it off at UPS or you can arrange a free collection on UPS. They will then get sent into Amazon's warehouse and they will basically take care of everything else. You can just track the progress on your Amazon seller account. So that was a quick video on the easiest and the best way to start Amazon FBA as a beginner. Now please do remember there is a lot more to it than I've gone into today, but we just wanted to do a quick breakdown of just the main things you need to know if you are considering getting set up and selling. Again, I just want to stress how important it is to be patient if you are doing Amazon FBA. You are not going to get results overnight. It is going to take time to grow. You need to compound the amount you invest. It is really a long-term business. As long as you do have that mentality from the start, you're not going to have any problems whatsoever and you will be successful. But I hope you found that video interesting. Make sure to let us know in the comments any other videos you'd like us to do, and please make sure to like and subscribe if you're not already doing so. And as always, if you were interested in joining Profitl, make sure to head down to our description where you'll find all of our links. But again, thank you for watching and we will see you in the next video.